Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say a quick word about my votes this morning, and in particular, my vote with regard to Ms. C. As I've mentioned a number of times in this committee, one of the top energy issues in my state, maybe the top energy issue, has been electric transmission lines. We have a corporation in the state of Missouri, Invenergy, that has used eminent domain to confiscate farmers' lands, to run transmission lines through the state of Missouri. Now, as originally planned, these lines weren't even going to benefit Missourians at all. No Missouri farmers, no Missouri consumers were going to get anything. This company came in, took the farmers' land, did not compensate them. Finally, Mr. Chairman, the answer was farmers were able to go to the state legislature. It required the passage of a new state law to get farmers compensated for the land that this private corporation, which has testified before us, by the way. I loved the testimony of this corporation. They came up here, sat right there in that seat, and when I asked how much money they were making on the state of Missouri, oh, we're not sure. Why didn't you negotiate with farmers? Oh, we can't say. But yet they're happy to use their power to come and take these farmers' land, to not compensate them. It required an intervention by the state legislature. Here's my concern, Mr. Chairman, and why it relates to FERC. Under the new authorities adopted by Congress in the Infrastructure Act a couple of years ago, the Department of Energy now has the ability to designate state transmission lines as national transmission corridors. Let me show you a map. And recently, the Department of Energy has done just that. Once the Department of Energy designates a particular through route as a national transmission line, FERC has the ability, under the new statute, FERC has the ability to countermand state authorities, essentially to bypass the state process, regulatory process, and designate the land, including potentially taking it. I asked all three of the FERC nominees about this and said to them, this was a couple of months ago, March, when we had the hearing, and said to them, will you guarantee to me that you will consider the interests of farmers, local residents, landowners, the kind of people who frankly don't hire lobbyists? Invenergy and these corporations, they've got lobbyists out the wazoo. These local farmers, local residents, they don't. So my question was simple. Will you adhere to the law, and will you take into account the interests of local residents, farmers, local landowners, again, most of these folks living in rural areas, and not allow, not just rubber stamp Department of Energy transmission corridors, national transmission corridors? I have to say I was particularly disappointed in the answer of Ms. C., who would not answer my question. And I just want to say, as a Republican, I'm not going to vote for other Republican nominees who will not stand up to the power grab that is happening all across the country, and of which my state in particular has been a victim. I'm just not going to do it. So I voted no on her nomination. I'm going to vote no on it on the floor. I voted no on the nominees because I'm concerned about this. And it's not, Mr. Chairman, it's not a hypothetical. Since we had that hearing, that was in March, since that time, lo and behold, the Department of Energy has indeed designated the line right there, right across the middle of Missouri, designated it as a national transmission corridor, which means FERC is going to have this power to come in and to countermand state law and the state regulatory process. So I'm very concerned about this. Farmers in my state are extremely concerned about it. And frankly, I'm disappointed in the answer of the nominees. But I'm particularly disappointed. I didn't necessarily expect the Democrat nominees to take a strong stance on this, but I sure as heck hope Republicans will and would. And I'm disappointed she didn't.